Welcome to Life by Design, episode 404. Welcome to Life by Design. I'm your host, Dr. Jamie Richardson. I'm joined today with my colleague, Dr. Cratio Jug.
Hello.
We are creators of Life by Design with many locations worldwide. Each week on the show, we discuss the principles and the practice of Life by Design. Today's episode, everything's so hard, Cratio. It's just so hard.
Clearly the podcast is hard too.
It's hard. Oh, well, we don't have
fun doing this.
Well, we need to choose our hard, Cratio. The podcast is hard.
Yes.
We should choose a hard. Losing weight is hard. We should choose your hard. Being broke's hard, but becoming rich is also hard. So choose your hard.
Mm-hmm.
The idea. I mean, the idea really is an idea worth talking about, and that's what we're going to talk about today. This was posted online by a colleague, actually, and it just
by many people.
Yeah, it was shared and posted by many people, and I think it brings up a lot of really interesting, deep conversations, and it's worth talking about because I know it got to you and really got you going and upset and irritated, and you wanted to talk about it. So why don't you dig in and share your thoughts, and I'll chime in as I need to.
Well, yeah. So first of all, I think slogans are very, very dangerous. I don't think they're bad necessarily, but a line like, choose your hard. And you hear that and you're like, okay, like I understand the general meaning. So I'm going to support something like that, but you have to be really careful because, the truth is very contextual. Mm-hmm. And slogans drop context, right? So for a very simple example, I see, shirts and people saying, well, love is love, and I understand the proposed meaning of that. Mm-hmm. Right. But what if, to get like really, crazy about it, what if you're talking about something grotesque like pedophilia? Is love in that case too, or is a little bit different in that context? So it's always really important to never drop context because the truth is contextual. Right. It does depend on the context. Right. So when you hear this quote, obesity is hard and losing weight is hard. Choose your hard, right? Really, what is supposed to mean is like you're supposed to work hard, or you're going to work. You need to work to achieve these things. And, choose what type of work you want to do, or choose the hard. Like, it's even hard to really explain because I'm unclear on exactly what's meant. So let's be, the part that it was disturbing, and I don't disagree. Like, I'm not saying that it's not hard work. This is the context. It is hard work. Mm-hmm. If you are trying to make a change in your life and you struggled with weight and you struggled with nutrition and now you want to become a different human being, mm-hmm. It is hard. Right. It is hard. Right. So let's not, we're saying it tongue in cheek at the beginning, but that's not disrespectful to the people who are on the path here. Like, it is hard, but eventually it gets to the point where it's not hard anymore and it's fun and you actually like to do it. So you're not choosing hard for the long term. You're just choosing to become a different person, which is hard in the making of. But once you become that person, it's not hard anymore.
And so let's just say, for the benefit of the doubt, it is possible that that's what was meant by this.
I think so,
right?
And I hope so.
Because there's no context. So I don't want to, bash on this in the sense that we're saying, look, if this is what was meant, that, things are tough and they're tough for a period of time, then yes, I do think that it's possible that wasn't the context as well, and that the context is exactly as it sounds, meaning everything's going to be hard. So pick one hard over the other. And that's where we're saying that's a huge faulty belief because it's not true. And to me, if you were having to choose hard and everything's going to be hard, it's not going to be much fun and you're going to stop doing it. And I think this goes back and it ties into a lot of the philosophies almost, and I could be wrong here, but, with Stoicism and the idea that, this unemotional, it's going to be hard anyway, so just pick a hard. Versus where we're coming from, more of an objectivist standpoint, saying, look, if it matches your values, parts of it might be hard, and it might be really hard at the beginning when it's different from what you're doing or you're trying to get from point A to point B. But long term, for me to actually do this, if it matches my values, it shouldn't be hard. I should enjoy doing it. And that is the whole point. If I don't enjoy doing it, then I need to question, what the heck am I doing? And why am I doing it?
Well, yeah, I mean, Stoicism, again, these philosophies are all blended nowadays. I think you're right. I think it comes from part of Stoicism. I know part of it comes from like the benevolent universe premise that everything's hard and everything's suffering, and you can never achieve your values. So you're just supposed to toil, and like the purpose of life is suffering, right? Or that's actually a really religious, a good Catholic
Belief
point of view. And and I don't believe that, like if you were to really sit down, and examine your motives for why you're doing the things that you're doing. Okay. And let's use weight loss, let's use wanting to get healthy. Right. So, what a rational person would do is they would look forward and they would say, I have so many things about my life that I enjoy. This is one potential. There's many potentials to get here, but I have so many things about my life I enjoy. I want to do so many things. I love my wife. I want to continue our relationship for a long time. I love my children. I want to be around as long as possible for them to grow and develop. There's many things in the world I want to see. I want to build houses. I have all these things that I want to do. Okay. In order for me to do these things, I need to be healthy to maximize the longevity, my energy, and the things that I need to do in order to build them. And as a result, I need to create more health. Mm-hmm. If you can keep all that, and that's a deep context, right? Because most people don't think in those terms. But if you can keep all of that in your mind, eventually over time, working out is more like, oh shit, I'm working out because I want to be around for my children, which is a huge value to me.
Right.
Right. Like that's the line of thinking that we're having here. And what it seems to me, and again, you're right, there is no context. So you can tell me that I'm wrong in my interpretation, which you'd be right because we don't know. But what I get from this is, well, it's hard. So life is hard. So pick whatever hard you want.
Right. Yeah. And that's not been my experience. I mean, there's definitely parts of my life that have been hard. And I can definitely say that it's a lot harder when I didn't give thought to what I wanted or what my values were or what I was striving towards. And the clearer that became, the easier it got. And it doesn't mean physically easier, because I would actually say that, the more vigorously you pursue your values, a lot of times it can actually get harder because you're taking on more, you're doing more, probably, depending again what your value is. If your value is, complete freedom and sitting on your lawn chair every day, which is totally fine, and looking at your view, that's great. I mean, that's not physically hard, but again, this is no judgment on anybody else in terms of what they do. But for my values to be pursued, like, I got up at 3:15 today because I knew that I had appointments starting at 7. So if I wanted to get any other work done, I had to be at the office early today. So I got to the office at 4:00. And was it hard to wake up? Sure. But I'll tell you, it's a lot less hard than it was a year ago or 2 years ago. And I could have stayed in bed, and I decided not to. And it really wasn't that difficult to decide to do it, just because I had a value that I was pursuing. And I knew if I didn't get up and did whatever that challenge was, then the hard to me actually would have been not pursuing it. That's actually hard. I actually think that's the hard, Cratio, is not pursuing your values and suffering because you're not pursuing your values. To me, that's the actual hard.
Yeah, I would agree. And again, and this is, to tie kind of everything back together, this is exactly the point. And this is why, these slogans and these quotes need to be taken within a context, right? Because there is no context around something like this. Because I can tell you you're wrong, you're misinterpreting it. And, how can you prove that, how can you prove that you're right or you're wrong? And, we love these mental shortcuts like this, there's lots of movements right now that are started like throughout the world where the point and the purpose of them is very unclear. And if you're lacking clarity, nothing's going to go anywhere. You're just going to kind of go in circles, right?
Right.
So,
and I know it's challenging, and it's a challenging thought process just to actually kind of break these things down and understand them at a more in-depth level. And for people who listen to the podcast, this is not surface level stuff. But that is the problem, is if we just take things at their face value and we get caught up in different slogans, and I mean, more than ever, you can hear it in all of the media that goes on right now, and whether it's around the election or whether it's around, COVID, or it's easy to get caught up in a statement without actually understanding the context. And I mean, you can see the devastating effects of that right now.
Oh, I think, right now is a great time to keep your eyes and your ears open and your philosophical detection on, because you like the level of idea application is rapid right now. So you can see long-term ideas coming into full fruition and how horrible those ideas actually are based on what's happening in the world right now.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And, a lot of these thoughts have been around for a long time, and the application of them has been there, and it's been evident in different ways. But there's no doubt that, their opportunities are being taken right now to take advantage and definitely pursue the application of some of those ideas. And, in some ways, I'm scared about, what that's going to look like if we don't, change that process. But at the same time, I'm always optimistic about rational thinking and objective human beings, taking the lead and getting out front and solving problems. So, humans have always done that. So we'll see how it all unfolds. There's lots of people out there that still like to think. It's just a matter of whether, those people are going to have an opportunity to get in place things that they need to get in place. Should be interesting, Crayshow.
Oh, interesting. Interesting is a safe way to say it, I think.
Yeah, I think we'll keep it safe on today's podcast.
For sure.
But for the sake of our listeners, guys, what we're really saying is, when you read something on Facebook, when you read something on Instagram, when you see a meme and you get connected, oh, that makes so much sense, and you start spreading that around, just give some thought to what that means on a deeper level, and if it still matches with your values and your thoughts. And just make sure you're having a discerning mind more now than maybe ever before.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
So guys, go to the show notes. We've got all the Think by Design free materials there. You can check them out, the 30-day challenge, the Think by Design ebook. And thank you for joining the drive to 1 million families worldwide living life by design.